Everyone, hang on to your hats. This is going to be a long one because we have a lot to talk about. We are doing a deep dive reaction to the two new trailers for the upcoming Jurassic World Rebirth film. And I have to ask, do we really need another Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie? I think this is the question that every trailer must answer for any film, but it's an especially important question for a film that is the seventh film in a franchise. Has this Jurassic storyline run its course, or is there still something worth watching beyond the spectacle of dinosaurs tearing through the jungles or cities and eating humans who have no business being there in the first place? So, what can they give us that we haven't seen before? That's the question of the day, and that's what I want to break down. Before we jump into this reaction to the Jurassic World Rebirth trailers, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And because these discussions are always more fun and more informative when you are part of them, please let me know what you were thinking down in the comments. Specifically, are you excited for this film, or do you think it's time for Hollywood to move on and dig up a new dinosaur story to tell? That's one of the questions that these trailers have to answer. So let's break it down. I've only seen the trailers, not the full film, so I'm going to have to make some educated guesses based purely on what we see in the trailers and what we know about the director Gareth Edwards, who was best known for Rogue One and the creator, as well as the screenwriter David Koepp or Koepp, either way, who wrote the original two Jurassic Park films. If any of my predictions and assumptions are right, this video may have some spoilers, so just be aware of that. But since no one has seen the movie yet, it's really anyone's guess as to what's a spoiler and what's a not at this point. It's all speculation. Here's what we know. The plot revolves around a mission to retrieve dinosaur DNA, which is supposedly necessary for a medical breakthrough that could save countless human lives. Of course, this DNA must come from the largest and most dangerous of the dinosaurs on this remote island, which turns out to be the secret former Jurassic Park research facility that's been long shut down. And naturally, raptors are involved, because why wouldn't they be? They're dinosaurs. In addition to the writer and director, the cast will include Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett, who is the snarky, badass mission leader, Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis, the nerdy scientist seeking dinosaur DNA, Mahershala Ali as Duncan Kincaid, the team's transporter or smuggler who's supposed to get them on and off the island. And then we also see Audrina Miranda as a mysterious child character who is with the team on the island for no other discernible reason than to be able to market this film to children. My first impression of the trailer brings up two key issues. First, there is one immediate red flag in this story. Why the mission specifically requires DNA from the biggest and most lethal dinosaurs. Why these dinosaurs?
None of what you just said is good.
So, the choice of dinosaur DNA needed suggests there's more at play than a simple medical breakthrough. Could this be another corporate scheme disguised as science? Is there a darker hidden agenda behind the mission? My other first impression is related to Gareth Edwards' directing style, because we can easily make some predictions based upon his past films and preferences. He tends to build stories around a strong what-if premise, such as in The Creator. He explored the idea of what if AI was truly sentient? And in Rogue One, he dug into the question of what if a rebellion started with ordinary people? His what if question tended to be more about the perspective shifts that uncover hidden layers beneath what we think we know to address the larger social ramifications within the story. So I think what he'll be going after here is the question of what if Jurassic Park was never about dinosaurs at all? He also trusts his audience. avoiding excessive exposition. Instead, he allows the story to unfold naturally. That means he's unlikely to spend much time rehashing old Jurassic lore, despite having the writer from the original film on his project. He'll pick up where the last film left off and move forward. Gareth Edwards is also known for prioritizing realism and relationships that focus on strong character dynamics that place story over spectacle. But with dinosaurs, we'll likely have a healthy dose of spectacle in this film. So I'm guessing that we'll end up with a fair mixture of both story and spectacle that kind of lean into the elements that will drive the tension, horror, and suspense. The most critical factor, however, is that Gareth Edwards really has a history of preferring real world locations over CGI heavy environments, which could give this film a more tactile, immersive feel compared to the previous Jurassic World movies. From the trailers, we can already confirm several things. First, Edwards has embraced the real world locations, which are featured in the scenes with the characters on the island, walking through the overgrown, untamed flora, reinforcing the idea that nature has reclaimed the land. While there are three dinosaurs that they are after, only Quetzalcoatlus is identified as one of them, which was named after Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god from Aztec mythology, which is kind of cool. This is the dinosaur from the trailer that's described as being the size of an F-15 with an estimated wingspan of nearly 40 feet and is as tall as a giraffe when it's standing. Yeah, I had to Google that because I just didn't know. There are also indications that the dinosaurs are evolving, possibly forming cooperative hunting strategies with other species, which could imply a learned communication style between these creatures. This makes me think about Jeff Goldblum's character in the first film, Dr. Ian Malcolm, who really warned them that nature always finds a way and that humanity never truly has control. So if these dinosaurs are now hunting in coordinated packs, how might they have evolved in ways that the human expedition really has not anticipated? This idea is underscored by another line in the dialogue that the data about these creatures has been erased, suggesting a cover up about what was really happening on this island. Why was it shut down? What was the real goal? Were they attempting to push the boundaries of evolution with genetic engineering that went beyond a desire to bring back the dinosaurs? If not, why delete the records? This question leads to a potential Red Hulk-sized spoiler from the trailer, since there was a mention and a visual that both indicate the island isn't just inhabited by dinosaurs, but by monsters. The trailer includes the line of dialogue.
Before they wanted to bring dinosaurs back to life, they wanted monsters.
Monsters? Well, that's exciting and different, but don't put it in the trailer. Surprise us. Dear studios, please stop spoiling the movies. It's frustrating that the trailer reveals the possible presence of a monster twist right up front. If they wanted to build suspense, this should have been held back as a shocking revelation in the film itself. Instead, this feels like the studio was afraid that dinosaurs weren't enough to sell the film, so they had to throw the surprise twist into the trailer, like Marvel did with Captain America: Brave New World, when they put Red Hulk front and center to grab our attention. It makes me feel like either they don't believe in the draw of the Jurassic franchise or they don't trust the audience. Either way, that's annoying because we are so tired of trailers that spoil the film, and I hope this isn't one of those examples. However, this reference really does serve as an outright indication that there was a deeper genetic experiment happening on this island than what anyone knew about. Thus, the data was deleted. Wouldn't it have been more effective to let audiences piece that bit together on their own? Now, rather than speculating about what's lurking in the island, we're waiting to see exactly how extreme these experiments got, which takes us away from some of the tension. So I have to ask, what did John Hammond really know when it came to these experiments on the island, if anything? He sold Jurassic Park as a family-friendly theme park in a way that only a somewhat naive idealist can actually manage. However, these trailers for Jurassic World Rebirth really do underscore the idea that the science that made Jurassic Park possible may have never been about simply bringing dinosaurs back to life. The family-friendly face of the park may have just been a front for something much deeper and darker that InGen Technologies was doing either with or without John Hammond's knowledge. But as the founder, it would be hard to believe that he didn't know about the experimentation that is alluded to in the trailers for Jurassic World Rebirth. So this film really does need to address the question of how much John Hammond knew about these experiments and if he was involved with shutting down or setting up this island's research. And if Hammond was aware of early hybrid or monster experimentation happening at the original Jurassic Park research facility on this island, then the entire premise of the original film shifts. And that is a big change to the lore for the franchise because it potentially changes his character, making him complicit in a deeper and more insidious scientific endeavor than we originally thought. Additionally, it could reveal that the events of the first film weren't an isolated accident, but rather the inevitable and predictable consequence of decades of unchecked genetic manipulation, just like Ian Malcolm cautions in the first film. If Hammond or others at InGen were involved in more extreme experiments than the ones we saw in Jurassic Park, then this franchise may be heading toward an entirely new revelation. Jurassic Park was never about dinosaurs. It was always about pushing the boundaries of life itself. So, what are those medical advances that are so revolutionary that it was worth sending a team to the island to capture the DNA of 3 special dinosaurs? This opens a whole new set of questions that could breathe life into a set of new films within the franchise. However, it also brings up a bunch of ethical and scientific questions that this or future films will need to address. Jurassic World Rebirth is likely just the first salvo into this conversation on ethics, but we'll have to see the film to know how they address these ideas. While the purpose of retrieving these DNA samples is for life-saving medical advancements, the film should explore whether this is just a convenient justification for something more dangerous. With modern biotech advances like CRISPR and AI-driven genetic engineering already pushing these boundaries in real life, the idea of repurposing prehistoric dinosaur DNA in a way that is related to human DNA raises major ethical considerations. Could this research be leading toward weaponized genetics, bioengineered super creatures, or something far worse? If history has shown us anything, it's that whenever scientific breakthroughs occur, there are those who want to exploit them for profit or power. If Jurassic World Rebirth leans into this question, or even just teases them for future films, it could add a deeper layer to the film's narrative that raise issues related to corporate greed, military applications of genetics, and the unintended consequences of tampering with nature, all of which are socially relevant today and for years to come. One glaring issue from the trailers is how weak the government response seems to be regarding this island. Duncan Kincaid, the smuggler, makes an offhand comment about how government patrols are weak because
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
but that doesn't actually hold up to scrutiny, does it? If history has shown us anything else, it's that humans are absolutely dumb enough to go places they shouldn't. People climb deadly mountains despite clear warnings. They explore abandoned nuclear zones despite signage saying not to go. They trespass into off limits areas for anything from corporate greed to thrill seeking. The idea that a site containing the most dangerous dinosaurs ever created would be left lightly guarded at best strains credibility, even if governments weren't concerned about protecting reckless intruders. They would absolutely want to ensure that nothing gets off that island. Wouldn't that at least warrant 24-hour satellite surveillance of the island and the waters around it? I think it would. This problem is eerily similar to the security failures in Alien Romulus. In that film, a derelict space station was somehow left unguarded despite being home to the deadly alien species. There is more to it than that, of course, which I get into in my review of that film. However, the basic narrative failure is the same. If the government or any authority knows a location is too dangerous for human presence, why aren't there better containment measures? The answer is often incompetence of convenience, which is a flimsy excuse that makes the narrative possible, but weakens the world building for the film. Now, there's another possibility. The security wasn't just neglected, it was deliberately sabotaged. If someone on the inside wanted this group to get in, and more importantly, back out and unseen, that would be a compelling twist. This would parallel the original Jurassic Park, where Dennis Nedry took down the park's security system to smuggle out embryos, only to be eaten by raptors for his trouble. A similar inside job in Jurassic World Rebirth would not only make more sense, but would also reinforce the franchise's recurring theme. The human greed and arrogance always lead to disaster, or, again, as Dr. Ian Malcolm put it, hey, nature always wins. If Jurassic World Rebirth wants to be taken seriously, it needs to answer this security question in a way that fits the logic of the world rather than just using it as an excuse to move the plot forward. Jurassic World Rebirth is clearly leaning into nostalgia with these two trailers, but the real question is whether the narrative is just a nostalgia play or something truly fresh. The trailers leave this question up for debate, which I think is nice because that's what will get audiences into the theater. I really like that it's moving away from the global scale chaos of Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, and back to a contained survival horror story. Isolation breeds fear, and this remote island really looks primed to do just that. If this film is going to succeed, it's going to have to address these key questions that the trailers raise in order to make it a meaningful addition that could extend the life of the franchise. First, what was the true purpose of this research facility? Second, who deleted that data and why? And third, are the dinosaurs on the island the same ones from Jurassic Park, or have they evolved into something more dangerous? I believe that Gareth Edwards is the right director for this film because he'll be able to bring suspense plus realism and deeper themes to this franchise. If Jurassic World Rebirth manages to capture the wonder and terror, as well as the ethical dilemmas of the original Jurassic Park, I think that this could be a win for the franchise as well as for the fans. But what do you guys think? Are you in or are you out? Are you tired of the Jurassic storylines? Let me know what you think of the Jurassic World Rebirth trailers and your impressions of the film in the comments below. Or do you just love seeing dinosaurs on the big screen? I kind of do. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I definitely want to know. All right, that's it for now. Please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And also share it with your dino-loving friends. And while you're here, hey, why not check out one of these reviews? Thanks so much, everyone. I'll see you all later. Bye for now.